Is it true that beginning writers need the most help with structure?
No.
Oh, you don't think so?
I think all writers need help with structure.
Oh, okay.
I think there are writers right now who are employed in writers' rooms, who have sold features before, and they need help with structure. I definitely do. And the way that you know that that's true is because there are rewriters who have jobs. A lot of the times when someone sells a feature, just because they sold it doesn't mean that's the way it's going to make it onto the screen, right? So they may buy it because they like the idea. They may buy it because they like the characters. They may buy it because they like the world. They may buy it because they like you. You never know. Things happen. But before that thing goes to the next round, they're going to hire someone else to come in and tighten it up, to come in and restructure, to come in and give it what it needs. And this is something that I do as well. I work with a lot of writers who have something great on the page, but structurally speaking, it's not hitting the beats that it needs to hit. Like when you, if your script gets on someone's desk, finally makes it in, they're gonna have their intern or their assistant read it first. Somebody who may or may not have ever written a thing in their lives, somebody who may or may not have a degree, someone who may have just gotten there day one, and they're gonna be the people who read your script. They're gonna have to read the entire thing because that's their job, and then they're gonna write coverage on it, which means they're gonna say, this is good, this is bad, this is ugly, these are what the characters are. Executive, you should or you should not read it. That's basically what the coverage is going to do. The executive will then say, okay, they're gonna take it, and because they have 8 million scripts on their desk, they're gonna give it about 10 to 15 pages to hit particular beats before they decide to continue to read. There's kind of like a industry standard of you gotta give it at least the first 10 or 15 pages. Some people, including myself, can give it 3 pages and know this is not gonna do what it's supposed to do. But because I'm a script consultant, I almost have to read, everything. So I usually can't just give it a few pages. I have to read everything so that I can give detailed notes about what's going on. But as far as an executive goes, they know what they're looking for. First of all, wherever it is they're working has a brand. So if they're at Fox, they're not gonna buy what CBS would buy. They're not gonna buy what NBC would buy. They're not gonna buy what OWN would buy. They each have their own brand, their own audiences and things that they're looking for. So outside of looking for those story beats, they're also looking for, but would we put this on our channel? Because regardless to how great it is, if it's not something that would be on their channel, they're not going to continue to read it. It's a waste of their time to continue to read it. So with that being said, structure matters as far as Hollywood goes. If you're an independent writer, an independent producer, independent director, you can write what you want to write and make what you want to make because it's your money. But as far as Hollywood goes, there are particular things that they're looking for. If we haven't hit that inciting incident around page 15, they're not going to keep reading. When I used to teach at Florida State, I taught intro to film. And the whole class was we would watch films and then they would have to analyze them in the written form. And I would always say, if I get your essay and I haven't hit the thesis statement, I would even give them the whole page, even though we all know thesis statement should be in the first paragraph. But if I get to the bottom of page 1 and I haven't gotten to the thesis statement, I'm not continuing to read because you're making me guess what your paper is about. I shouldn't have to guess what it's about. You should tell me this is what this thing is about, or this is what I'm going to try to prove to you, or whatever. That's what the inciting incident is for the screenplay. For you to give me the information of this is what this thing is about. This is what my character is going to be doing for all of Act 2, or this is what goal my character is trying to reach in the resolution. If I can't know that by page 15, I'm not gonna keep looking for it, And so that's why structure matters. And there are some people who who naturally write well and don't know that they're writing in that structure. And then there's some people who have great ideas and great characters and great worlds. And the reason that the things aren't selling or aren't doing what they need to do is because they don't have any structure. So I think everybody can learn from structure, every single person. Some people, the people who have mastered it are those people who are consistently making money as writers. Because if you understand structure, you can write anybody's story, not just your own. And a lot of us think that being a writer is all about writing our own ideas. And there are some people who get to that level that they're writing their own ideas. But most professional writers, people who are consistently getting paid, or people who are being hired by producers to write for them, or hired to do rewrites on somebody else's stuff, or someone who can jump from writer's room to writer's room to writer's room and continue to go up in rank in those writer's rooms because they can hear someone else's story, and because they know structure, they can make it happen. So structure is just going to be helpful all the way around.
Is there one structure upon which almost every story will fit into?
There are several different types of structures, and it depends on what kind of story you're telling. So we have 3-act structure, and that's the one that almost everybody knows. And in my opinion, 3-act structure is the best to know, because even if you're writing in 5 acts, all it means is that you're stretching out your 3 acts. Right? Or if you're writing in 2 acts, you're condensing your 2 acts. Or for those people who are into theater, if you're writing a 1-act play, your 3 acts is happening in 1 act. So understanding 3-act structure, which basically means you spend 1 act on setting up, you spend 1 act on actually getting to the goal, and you spend another act on saying, hey, I got the goal, now what? And that's basically what structure is. So a lot of people will write pages and pages and pages of activity, but activity is not action, right? Action is intentional. Right? People are taking intentional steps towards a goal. Activity is just anything. I went to a party. I sat in my house. I watched TV. I did X, Y, and Z. But if that isn't attached to you actually trying to reach a goal, then what am I watching? I'm watching the 12 hours of a reality TV show when someone just sat there all day and filmed. Let's say they were filming us right now. What would they be seeing? Just you sitting here, right? But what does that mean? However, if they were filming about what it takes for you to make your show happen, now this becomes an intentional part of the story. But if the story is about you going to the grocery store today, then why would we need to be showing this? Right? So yes, there is one particular structure that if everybody learns, it's gonna be helpful to you. But most features are written in 3 acts. Some 1-hour dramas are written in 3 acts, some are written in 5. And in comedies, half-hour comedies, those can be written in 2 acts or also 3 acts, depending upon what kind of comedies they are. Single camera comedies are usually done in 3 acts. Multi-camera comedies might be done in 2. So what I say to people is, going back to that homework, going back to honing your craft, is read scripts that are close to the script that you're writing so that you can see what kind of structure and what kind of format they use. Because even the format can change from features to TV, from 1 hour to half hour. So in order to know that, and those are those things where it's like, well, I'm gonna walk in on my first day and be showrunner. It's like, yes, but you don't know that there's a different format between half-hour multi-camera comedy and a single-camera comedy. That's information that you should probably know if you're gonna run the show, right? And the information is out there because now we live in 2020 and there's YouTube, and there's Instagram, and there are people who are giving the information away for free. So when people don't take the opportunity to utilize those resources, then that's when I go back to, you gotta respect the craft.